Plus Uncommon Fossil, and today I want to talk about a deck built around Alakazam EX, the Stage 2 Psychic-type Pokemon that's highly notable because this is the one and only Pokemon, the first ever, that can attack from the bench, right? Dimensional Hand attack, 2 Psychic Energy, just 120 damage. The numbers, not the biggest, obviously, but then this attack can be used even if this Pokemon is on the bench. So tremendous. It lets us throw up a wall in front of our opponents and just hit away while making our opponent's life very difficult, right? So Alakazam Stage 2, what are we playing for the Pokemon line? 3 basics. I'm playing 1 Stage 1 because we are slowing down our opponent so we have time to manually evolve in 3 of the Stage 2s. Obviously, we want to get Rare Candy going, but having one that we can evolve without Rare Candy, I do think helps the deck flow a little better. What do we want to put up in the active spot? 2 things. We have 3 Klefkis, which has the Mischievous Lock ability. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, basic Pokemon in play have no abilities except for Mischievous Lock, so it shuts down right, Genesect V, Comfey, even Cramorant can no longer attack because that's right an ability that gives it free attack. Lumineon V can't use its ability, so very useful, very disruptive. Probably this is the Pokemon I want to put in the starting spot when we just don't know what to expect, which is when we go on live, we don't know what we're up against. So put Klefki in the active; it can slow them down at the beginning of the game. Then for a lot of games, we Mimikyu the card we want to get up there once our opponent can attack. Safeguard, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's EX and V Pokemon. So three Mimikyus, 3 Klefkis. Those are the ones we want in the active pretty much all the time, making our opponent's life difficult. And then engines, I'm going with a 2/2 Kirlia engine, playing the Ralts with Memory Skip. It's less HP, but again, it's a very annoyance type style deck. So I think Memory Skip, where your opponents, they can't use one of the attacks on your opponent's Pokemon, right? Pokemon like Charizard only has 1 attack, Charizard EX, so if we Memory Skip them, they can't attack that turn unless they get out of the active and switch back in. So I like having that option in this deck. And Kirlia, a good engine. I was doing Barrel before, but it was just clogging things up, and I wasn't drawing with it because I couldn't fit a Squovid in. Didn't think bench spot space nor deck space so well. So I'm going with the Kirlia engine. I think this will get better results. All right, getting to the rest of the deck, we have 9 basic Psychic Energy. We don't need a ton of energies for these attacks, so the 9 seems to be enough. Obviously, you have to draw it into hand. That's the downside, but we have some rods to recover them, so we shouldn't run out there. All right, so getting into the trainers here. Pokemon Search, we play 4 Ultra Ball. We have the Alakazams for one thing we need to get, but then we play 4 Level Balls, which gets us the basics as well as the Kirlias, so very good there. That's better than Nest Ball in this deck. And then 4 Fog Crystals, which does help with the energy situation too, because we only have 9 energy, but 4 Fog Crystals. Fog Crystal, terrific Psychic card. You either draw search your deck for a Psychic Energy or a basic Psychic Pokemon, depending what you need. So really, really good in any Psychic deck. Playing 4 of just is terrific. So that's the Pokemon Search we have. Then we have 2 Pal Pad because we're getting kind of slowing down our opponent. We want to be able to, it lets us recover up to 2 supporters to the discard pile, put it into our deck. We play low counts of some supporters, so we don't know which ones we're going to need for the matchup. So being able to recover, I do like. And the games tend to be slow, tend to be long, at least if it's working. It's a slow, long game. If the game goes fast, it's usually because our opponent sets up first and rolls us over. So recovery for a long, slow game, Pal Pad's very good. 1 Raihan, right? You know that if you're active, if a Pokemon's knocked out, and we have these single prize basics up front we're going to take a bunch of knockouts, accelerate energy to any one Pokemon, search your deck for any one card, so super useful there. A second Raihan might not be a bad option, but I've been deck space is tight, as with almost all decks, so 1 Raihan. We do have Pal Pad to get it back. 1 Professor's Research. With Rare Candies, you don't want to research often, but we do have it as that option if that's what we need. 2 Boss's Orders. Very important to a deck like all decks, certainly important to this deck. have that. I'll finish off the supporters for 3 Iono, which very good early game, seeing fresh cards, and late game, you can put your opponent down to a small hand size. And then Cynthia's Ambition, 1 copy of that. Very nice with a deck where single prizes are getting knocked out. You can take a lot of knockouts. Draw to have 5 cards in hand. If one of your Pokemon was knocked out last turn, draw to have 8. So very good. You need a big hand size because we need Rare Candy and our Alakazam together at some point, so a big hand size helps with that for sure. All right, getting back to the other cards that aren't supporters, we have 3 Path to the Peak, right? Shuts down Rulebox Pokemon's abilities. Very, very good. Causes a lot of disruption. 2 Super Rods, need to get back either the Klefkis or the Mimikyus, right? Because that's what we're usually getting knocked out. So 2 Super Rod and get back some energy too if we need it. And then what do we play? 2 Switch cards. That's just really good to have. We don't play. I like this over Rope because we don't want to give our opponent the choice of what goes in the active. So usually keep the active Pokemon stuck there. That's usually better in the long run. We do play 3 Rare Candy instead of 4, in part because we play the 1 stage 1. Could put in a 4th Rare Candy still, but we can get by with 3, so that's what I'm doing for deck space. And 2 Vitality Band. I like this. That extra 10 damage is meaningful in some matchups, so I like getting the extra 10. I think it is a useful tool, so I like that as an option. So that's the list I've put together, and it's been working pretty good. Let's see how this latest build is working, and hopefully I get a game where I can show off what it can do. All right, we'll see what happens here. Obviously, would love to go first, but so does my opponent most likely, right? Everybody wants to go first these days. It's better when it's kind of more of a mix between decks that want to go first versus decks that want to go second. Just makes things more interesting, I think. But obviously, first is generally best these days. All right, a little slow getting things going. Hopefully, things pick up once we get going. So, opponent won the coin toss. They'll choose. They go first as expected. So, we'll see what happens. I can't play a supporter, so I will put the Klefki in the active, which is good, which does mean if it's Lost Zone, they can't use those comfies. So, good. And you don't bench the Mimikyu because... okay, so they play Spiritomb. So that's fine. All right, so Duraludon and Umbreon V. Okay, haven't run into this guy in a while. Duraludon V is obviously very good. 220 damage, hits through effects, so it's going to blow up my Mimikyu. Klefki's ability lock isn't really going to do anything, I don't think. Right now, I mean, it shuts down their Spiritomb, but that does not matter, of course. I don't think I want a boss. What do I want to do here? I guess I need an Abra. Oh, I definitely need an Abra. Do I want to... I think... I don't love this. I don't have any energy. It's not good. I think I need a Ralts. I just need to get things going. Ralts gives me that option. I mean, it needs to top deck something, obviously. And just end turn there. That Duraludon in the active is good. They can evolve to the VMAX in the Umbreon and gust up what they want. So, and I am the Abra whole line. Abra the Kadabra, the Alakazam are all weak to dark, so Umbreon is not a happy thing for me. So they can't use Radiant Serena, so that's a plus for me. Right, so keeping Klefki in the active can be important. All right, so they're going to... So I don't shut down the ability of evolution Pokemon, so they're going to pretty much guaranteed to Trini Nova. We're interested to see what they get. They could play... I don't know what they're going to... They are going to want a switching card. Probably they want a DTE, I assume. And a switching card, maybe? They didn't play a supporter, did they? No, so they may want to get a supporter, right? Like a DTE and a research actually might be a nice play. All right, so we'll see what they do here. And we'll see what it leaves me. Right now, I don't have much going on. So an Iono would, of course, be a dream for me if they did that. If they play research, though, they certainly want to research here. I don't have a big hand, so they shouldn't. There's no reason they assume that I have a great hand. They're taking a lot of time. So I don't. Yeah, taking a long time. All right. Waiting patiently. So Alakazam. It does do Mind Jack as well. 90 for 2 colorless. So grab 2 cards. A DTE, and let's see, is it research? And research, okay. As expected, took a long time to do that. Maybe they know exactly what their 6 prizes were. I don't know. Okay, Lost City, not bad. Obviously, because I want to recover Pokemon. I've gotten rid of one rod, though. This is not a good matchup, is what I would say. So I will attach here, and I'll end turn. Right, having the VMAX in the stuck in the active is good. The boss isn't bad because at some point then I will gust up the Duraludon V. So Arceus can attack. Do they have the switching card? Adventures Discovery. So let's see what they get. Umbreon. I assume that'll let them take out my Abra. Yeah, okay. Grabbed a Lumineon also, it looks like, right? Just 3 V Pokemon, right? Yeah. So it can be evolutions. I think one was a Lumineon, one was an Umbreon VMAX, one was Duraludon VMAX, I think. See what they get rid of, see what they draw. Okay. I mean, I could have attached a Klefki and retreat into Mimikyu because then they don't take a prize there, but all right. I guess maybe I was wrong. Maybe they're not attacking, so wow, I guess I really hate getting rid of I got to get rid of Boss then, right? I like Boss, but I need the Alakazam. Obviously, I need both, but right. I think I already got. So it's not terrible. I guess I end turn. Okay. So we'll see what happens. At some point, they're going to gust me up when they're getting ready to attack, I assume. I mean, taking out the Klefki is not a terrible thing for them to do. So they're digging through their deck, but, we'll see if they actually pull something off. I mean, they got the Arceus V-Star and the ability, and they... Well, okay, so... I don't love this, but... I'm going to get rid of my switch card first. If it's an Alakazam EX I draw into, I'll be very sad. Okay, that's not bad. So I can get an energy. I can get... I think another Klefki down is good. Attach here. And research. But I got Rare Candy. All right, well, that's good. All right, so I'm going to get rid of... Do I want another Mimikyu down? I don't know if I do. Maybe I do, though. All right, I'm going to make this play. It's very dicey. I think I might play the Mimikyu, and that's bad for me, I got to say, because... All right. So 130. So I'm 3-shotting them. At some point they're going to get out of the active. They can heal. No, they can't heal. That's right. They can't heal as long as my Klefki's in the active. Maybe I should have benched the Mimikyu. Maybe I should have. I really would like another Alakazam, though, because that's really what I need. I assume Umbreon, I assume the Umbreon VMAX one-shots me. Okay. Ooh. I want to use the Kirlia. I'll get rid of Ralts, I think. Okay. I will get down an Abra. Okay. That's not bad. It's not bad. Helps me attack next turn if need be, right? So my opponent's being very slow about that. I mean, either they're really getting into nothing, or they want me to take this knockout, or they're kind of beating me. I'm a little confused, or they're not doing more. I mean, I guess, are they just willing to give up the Duraludon, figuring they'll run through everything after that? It's possible. Now, the Alakazam, wow, okay. That's, I will, it's a good hand. I'm not going to, I'm going to just do this. I was thinking, should I Kirlia away the Mimikyu? Right, I'm guessing they might be Ionoing me at this point. I mean, right? I mean, so they knock me out here, which is okay. I probably send up Klefki again. Stop the healing. Obviously, they can set up whatever they want to. So I have Raihan. I'm in a nice spot here. What do I send up? I can set up Mimikyu, or I can send up Kirlia, right? He heals 20, which definitely slows things down for me. But I think I'll send up Mimikyu, make him get through the Mimikyu. I'll save the Klefki for later. Could be wrong, but that's my thought. So I'll get rid of Kirlia. I got rid of the basic already, so Iono's not bad. What's Klefki do? It does 10. I don't think I want that, do I? So I will Mimikyu there. I will Raihan. I'll put it on the Kirlia because his retreat cost is 2. I will grab the Alakazam. I have the Rare Candy. So, whoop. Okay, I didn't quite do that the way I wanted to, but that's okay. I have an attach per turn. I don't think I want to. So, see what happens. They're going to heal. We'll see what they do, right? They need to attack with Duraludon this turn, I assume. All right, so they might be going to... Okay, so they get the VMAX, so they're going to gust up one of my Alakazams, I assume. Okay, they... I don't know why they took the one without the tool. Alrighty, that's... Okay. I mean, that's unusual, I will say. That's what I would say to that. I've used one rod, right? So... I'm going to keep digging through things here. They didn't use their ability, which they could have. So that's... All right, let me... What's the boss situation here, by the way? One boss. Is there something else I want to take out? Gonna ditch the Abra. I have Switch in hand, so... and I can retreat for 1, too, which I probably just retreat for 1. And I send up the Mimikyu again, because I'm not one-shotting. They forgot to heal, so I will attach. And I will just, I'll attack, attack, and then I do finish them off next turn. If I need boss, right? I could have attached an energy to a Mimikyu, right? Because the Mimikyu would finish them off too, which would be nice. So they healed off that time. Right, maybe, well, no, that time I attached Alakazam, so it would have been the turn before to attach to Mimikyu. So I guess, are they going to gust me up and finish me off? I assume that's their play. Yes, they are. Selecting attack. I guess they're retreating. I guess is what that means. It should say they're retreating, right? Yeah, so they get rid of the DTE so they don't get knocked out, which is fine. I might want to grab that boss. So now, all right, so now I'll send up Klefki at this point. I didn't get another Abra into play, and maybe I do. I'm going to send up, I'll send up Klefki, stop the healing at this point. Mimikyu does stop everybody except for the Duraludon, right? So, okay, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so I want... or do I want something to pitch away? Do I want another Klefki in play? I don't need another Klefki, right? I'm going to pitch away a Mimikyu. In fact, I'm going to grab the Klefki here. Just, I'd like to hit Rod. That's what I'd like to hit. So get rid of Mimikyu. Path. Don't really need the path, right? So do I want to Klefki again? I will Klefki again, and I will... boss. Maybe I should... So I'll take the... No, I want to get back. I want the two bosses back. I haven't attached to anybody yet, have I? What do I want to do? So Mimikyu actually takes out the Spiritomb, right? So that's, I think, who I want in the active. I'm going to talk. Yeah, I'll bench my Stadium too. Take the knockout. So the Spiritomb will... Sorry, I'm not sure. I probably got very silent there. I was thinking through the angles. All right, that's Fog Crystal's nice too. That guarantees me energy. But I would need boss, right? I'm down to one prize left. So Iono obviously is very disruptive to me. Let's see. They can't Umbreon, so they'd have to boss to gust me up. And I don't know. I mean, they may play boss too. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. It's possible they don't. Wow. Okay, so this is very nice, right? So I'm gonna send up Mimikyu. They don't have anything to anybody to heal here, right? So path to the peak. All right, so I want to... What do I want to do here? I think I really want to thin things down, right? So I have two boss. I don't have that many cards. Iono gets me one card, though. One card, which isn't a good feeling, right? So let me attach to my... gonna attach to my Mimikyu. I'm going to... Let's see. Discard these two cards. Just thin out my hand. So I've got two bosses in there. And now I Iono these cards in. I see one and I see two more out of... So that's okay. I Kirlia. There's a decent chance. I missed the boss. That is unfortunate for sure. So that could be game for me. It might not be. Might not be. So I don't want to disrupt my hand because the bosses should be near the top at this point, right? Ionoing to one obviously wasn't great. Now the Spiritomb I one-shot. I do not one-shot the Radiant Serena. So they bumped the path. That's fine. Okay, so they don't. So they're not going to have boss. So they can't gust me up this turn. So they don't have game. So, yeah. So don't play Rod. They're not going to give me any hand disruption, which is fine. I'll send the Mimikyu right now. He does 7. So I've got to have boss. I see 1 and 2, 3 cards. So I think I will hit it. I think I will. This is it, right? This is the card. This is game or loss. And hit the card. So there we go. So I will call up the Spiritomb. And boom, there we go. So was able to work through. Obviously, the Umbreon, Duraludon, it was a scary one because it one shot that does big damage, and Duraludon hits through the effect, the ability on it. So so that game worked out. It was a close game. Close game. That was boss or not boss that last turn. Easily could have missed it, but things worked. It was a slow game too, right? I believe it was. It's a deck that leads to slow games. Obviously, the walling effect can be better against other decks, but I think that showed the deck what it can do. You're slowing down your opponent, making things difficult for them. You're making your choices between the Klefki and the Mimikyu, which you want an active. Obviously, the fact that one hit through my Mimikyu's ability made things tough, but Klefki, affected the Radiant Serena. That wasn't overly crucial with that matchup. But trying to figure out the right play. So I've worked through it. I do think, I will say the Kirlia engine, I do think is the way to go. I do like it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the 60, and I certainly give the deck a try. Let me know in the comments what you think about the list. Do you think Kirlia is the right engine? Are there any other partners to put it with? And I do have a thought that's in my mind that I don't have an answer to yet, but with Alakazam's ability to attack from the bench, is it expanded, and particularly the live expanded format, which of course is a truncated expanded format, but is there a way to really make a deck that causes a lot of grief to your opponents, right? Is an expanded possible to set up a wall that's virtually unbreakable, and then you can just take games after game and expand it? I haven't worked on that yet. If you have thoughts, please let me know too. Interested to look at that soon. Take care.